Hi, welcome to Cooking with Indy. Today's episode is going to be about fish and chips. And I have traveled down the west coast, up the west coast, even up to Vancouver. And every time I went out, I went looking for like the best fish and chips. And what I ended up finding was a recipe with salmon and just some basic fish and chips. I mean, you just add beer. With that in mind, because we need beer for this, I had to go buy some Dos Equis. So this is brought to you by Dos Equis because it inspired me to drink a little bit of Bacardi and jarritos, mango. So this was inspired by a little bit of drinking, which is And when you use a beer for this, you need to use something light. Don't use a dark beer because it'll darken up the batter, and then the oil, you'll get a little bit of a burn flavor. It doesn't burn, but it just tastes different. Use a lager or a light beer. Dos Equis is perfect. And one of the other things that you have to keep in mind, it's not a full beer. It is a cup and a quarter of beer, and then the rest is for you, which is a win-win situation. What I like to do, what I did is I got some fresh canola oil, and I chopped up I sliced some French fries, which is the chips portion of it. I have blanched them in the microwave 5 minutes, and then I rinsed them. These are all about the same size, and all the little small scraps, what I did is I made them really nice and thin. So that way you can have two different kinds of chips at the table, but you do get your traditional fries, which I love my traditional fries. So I did that. You just want to rinse it because the starch on here is what keeps the potato from browning nicely. So that's why you want to rinse that starch off of it. Once you're done with that, you want to dry them. Just pat them dry because they're going into hot oil, and you do not want a lot of water going into the fryer. It splatters, it goes crazy, But yeah, just as simple. And you're gonna love making your own fries. I just got a tiny little deep fryer. I can't even set the temperature. I think it's at 350, 375. I'm not really sure. But it's got fresh canola oil. Yummy. We're going to throw all of these in there. Alright, so I'm going to cook my fries first, both these chips and these chips. And then I'm going to cook the salmon. For the salmon, and that way I don't get that flavor of the salmon or fish in my fries. But we just got a piece of salmon, a fillet aside. I am going to rinse it. As you can see, it's got the skin on. I'm going to rinse it, I'm going to fillet it, and then I'm going to make some strips. And I'll get started on this, and I'll show you what it should look like before you fry it. Alright, so I'm going to show you, I've rinsed it, and I've taken just a scrubber on the back to get as much of the scales off of this. But I'm still going to fillet it, so that's not going to matter. It just works a little bit better for me so I don't get all over the cutting board. So you get a knife like this. These are real cheap. They're designed for filleting. And you're going to get on the end, get down into towards the skin, and then you hold, and you see how that is going right up against the skin, releasing the fish. So I'm just pulling up a little bit as I do this. Let's see. And as you can see, It jumped out of its skin. So if you can get that, that's the ideal way. Now I'm just going to rinse it off to make sure there's no scales on there. And I'm going to make some, I'll show you in a minute what size portions so it cooks evenly. But now you just rinse it. Alright, so with these, because they're really thin sliced, I'm just eyeballing it about how brown, dark I got them. And this is where we're at right now. To me, these are perfect. If you like them crispier than that, just leave them longer. If it's too much, then do a little less. And then you're just going to do this to get all that extra oil off. A little salt. A little pepper. And you have these beautiful chips. Look at that. These beautiful chips to serve. As a snack or with the fish. Alright, so all I did is rinse. And now I want to show you, you want to use a chef knife or something like one of those smaller chef knives, because the fillet knife won't cut this nicely. So I want to get portions that are going to be about this size right there. It's not too thin and it's not too thick. With the batter, it'll cook super nicely. So, see, this is a little thick. I am just gonna take that down the center. Use the weight of the knife. And I've got two perfect little portions right there. This one's a little, that one's good. So this is about what you want to get. That's what you want to aim for throughout as much of the fish, and you can use all of it, even the tail, that little nerve. If you want to get rid of it, you can get rid of it, but it doesn't matter. When you cook it in this way, it's all beautiful. Really simple. All we're gonna do, pull one of these bad boys, andale güey, andale güey, andale güey. And then add la cerveza. Once again, 1.25 cups, so you get the right consistency. Now, if you want to add like a little bit of chili pepper to this mix, now's the perfect time to do it. Or maybe some red pepper flakes. If you want to add something spicy to it, or a different flavoring. Alright, so we had technical difficulty. I picked out the wrong thing, so I put in 1.5 cups of beer instead of 1.25 cups. It's going to be a little weird, but we're going to be okay. It's just going to be a little runny, I think. I could probably add a little bit of flour if I wanted to get fancy and stuff, but you know, sometimes you just take whatever beer they leave you from the recipe. So you want to mix not too much. You just want to kind of, it's going to be a little lumpy. And that's it. Not too much. And I like to use my hands. You can use spatula, you can use, you know, whatever. But basically, I'll put in a few in there like that. And I want to get them nicely covered, so when I pull it out it looks like that, and it's going to go straight into the batter, which we're going to next. Alright, so I decided to use some tongs, and I put the fish in there so you can see this is not too runny, so it's not bad. I didn't mess it up too bad. Still going to be great. So I've got the oil at whatever temperature it automatically goes to. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so I'm gonna do several pieces in there at once that are really nicely coated. I'm gonna do 6 pieces in there. And we're gonna let it cook for 3 minutes. Timer, boom. I'm gonna flip them over at least once, maybe a couple of times so that they brown evenly. But yeah, these, oh, already smell so yummy, 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 yummy. We are at 3 minutes, and I'm just gonna pull these bad boys out, and then I'm gonna check one to make sure that I've got it just about right. I ended up doing 6 in here, in this little one. But yeah, let's just grab one. And see. Ooh, look at how yummy that is. That is cooked perfectly for me. 3.5, 4 minutes. If you like it a little bit more well done. This right here is at about a medium, right under medium well. You like it a little bit more well done, just add half a minute or even a full minute if you want. But yeah, this is, Gracie, settle down. She doesn't like it when I clap. So these, you just you serve with a little tartar sauce maybe. Alright, I didn't make my own tartar sauce because, you know, I'm trying to do something that's easy. But yeah, you serve with a little tartar sauce, just like that. And oh, yum! Salmon, fish, and chips is fantastic. I also keep malt vinegar just in case I make fish and chips. So that, I just basically would add a little bit. You can add it to your fries. You can add it just on the chip, just like that. And then, you know what, watch out. Ah. It's hot, but damn, it's good. There you have it. Easy to make. Fish and chips. We use some salmon. You saw how to skin it. If you have anything left over all that skin, you just slice it off nicely. Basically, what we're doing here is we're making sure that all portions of whatever we're making that we're frying are about equal size, as you can see. The reason for that is so that everything cooks evenly and you can hit the target that you want. If you don't want it to be, because you can't aim for medium, medium well, anything like that if you have pieces that aren't the same size. So that's what makes this easy, because we're frying. Yeah, if you have any questions, holler at me. If you do make this, share it with us. Let us know how it came out. If you made any changes, how that worked out. We want to know. Sherry, thank you, baby. Once again, I very much appreciate you guys watching these Cooking with Indie shows. If you can, share. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Buenas noches.